This honey sweetened apple bread is super spongy and moist with the flavors and aroma of baked apples. Perfect for dessert or even for breakfast. You all absolutely loved my German apple cake as well as my apple yeast bread. So I figured why not marry the two and make something new, an apple bread, something like a banana bread but made with apples. So let me show you how to make it. Before we get started, let me emphasize how important it is that your butter and eggs are at room temperature. And no, you cannot accelerate the process in the microwave or on the radiator. The butter will just become very soft on the outside but still be hard and cold in the center, and then you can't cream it. It's very important that you take your eggs and butter out of the fridge 1 hour before you start baking. I'm so sorry, I know it's annoying, but it's super essential for this recipe. I also recommend that you use an electric hand mixer or a stand mixer for this recipe, unless obviously you have the biggest biceps and triceps in the world, then you can hand mix, of course. Okay, now we really are ready to get started. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then get 2 apples and a peeler and start peeling the apples. Any type of apple will work. I'm using Honeycrisp today. Then grate the apples into a bowl. And once you finish grating, use the juice of 1 lime to drizzle over the grated apples. This will help slowing down the browning process, but be aware the apples will still get brown and it's fine and it's okay and the recipe will turn out great. Now set the grated apples aside and get another small bowl. We will now mix the dry ingredients. Add 1 cup of all-purpose white flour, spooned and leveled, as well as 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder to the bowl and mix with a fork until well combined. If you're using unsalted butter later in the recipe, then I recommend using 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt in that mix as well. And I know I'm going to get this question. No, you cannot use any other flour. Trust me, I've tried. All the flours are very different. They react differently in baking recipes. It's basically a chemistry class and you have to follow it to the T. The sponginess and the airiness of the bread really require that you use all-purpose white flour. Now set the dry ingredients aside as well and pull out your electric mixing device. Add 1/2 cup of softened salted butter to the bowl, as well as 1/2 cup of honey. The easiest way to measure honey is by adding a little oil to your measuring cup, and then the honey will slide right out of the cup instead of sticking to it. Now, with the flat beater attachment, cream the butter and honey on medium speed for 3 to 4 minutes. It will not get airy and fluffy as when you beat butter and sugar, but it should be very creamy and light and pale. At this point, add 1/2 cup of unsweetened apple butter. Apple sauce won't work because its water content is too high. It has to be thick apple butter. In the blog post, I linked to my favorite one. Add that to the butter honey mixture and beat for about a minute or until well incorporated. Now we're going to reduce the speed to low and add 4 eggs and the dry ingredients to the batter in stages. Don't dump it in all at once. Add 1 egg, wait until it's mixed in, then add 1/4 of the flour mix and wait until it's mixed in, and then continue like that until all eggs and flour are mixed in properly. And now it's already time to add the shredded apples into the batter, but first we need to press out all the water. The more water you incorporate, the flatter and denser your bread will become, so really take your time and press out all that water from the grated apple. Use a spatula to mix it all in and then transfer everything into an oiled and parchment paper lined 1 pound capacity loaf pan. Flatten the top with the spatula and then sprinkle sliced almonds over it. Now bake the apple bread for 50 to 60 minutes or until the internal temperature at the center of the bread is about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. At that point, you're going to want to take it out of the oven and place it on a wire rack. Leave it in the loaf pan. Do not take it out for at least 30 minutes. It will finish baking in those 30 minutes, so it's very important that you don't remove it right away or else all the steam will evaporate from the sides and the bread will become dry. So you want to keep it in there for 30 minutes. It will still be warm after that. Yes, you can enjoy this warm. So after the 30 minutes, you can take it out of the loaf pan and then you can either wait for it to cool down completely or you can cut into it while it's still warm and enjoy it with a big cup of coffee. It's so delicious. I can't wait to hear your feedback. If you try this recipe, please don't forget to snap a picture and show me. I love seeing when you make any of my recipes, and I'll see you with my next video. Bye.